Hi, I'm Aaron Lee Kaplan, and this is Waupaca Local Live.
Welcome to Waupaca Local Live. I'm Marcy Boku.
And I'm Deb Gerke.
And tonight we have Aaron Kaplan, Aaron Lee Kaplan. Aaron Lee, you always use your middle name.
That's because Aaron Kaplan is a really common name for musicians.
It is.
If you Google Aaron Kaplan, a bunch of other people will come up.
Well, that's
Wow.
interesting.
Aaron Kaplan was a composer on the Iron Man 2 soundtrack, apparently.
Oh, really?
And I wanted to set myself apart, and then in retrospect, I was like, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to get confused with that guy.
Right.
Ride the shirt tails just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
right?
So is Lee really your middle name?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
so.
It's
we're
a
kinda-
great celebrity name. I
It
love
Is
it.
it? I don't like it.
Kaplan.
I tried to think of a I tried to think of a stage name, but everything sounded really corny.
Aw.
So I just stuck with my name.
Now I'm curious, what were some of the ideas you came up with?
I don't remember now.
We're putting you on the spot. So, Aaron, we're really glad that you're here. We've heard
It's
good
great to
things
be
about
here.
your performances. I know that you've played around the area. You're from Marshfield, is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, just a little ways down the road.
And how long have you been in Marshfield?
About 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Where were you before that?
I was born in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh,
And then when I was 9, my family moved to Salem, Oregon.
oh.
I
and
know.
then I got married, and then my wife is from Marshfield originally, and we decided to move out here to Marshfield, and
Oh.
we've been here since then,
Wow.
like 14 or 15 something years.
So one of your fans from the area, she happens to be here in the live audience tonight.
Okay.
She heard you play at one of the other local places in Waupaca, and she thought it was really interesting, the story that you told about when you first moved to Wisconsin. And then you and I talked a little before the show. I'd love for you to share with the audience kind of what that was like for you growing up. I mean, how old were you when you moved to Salem, did you say?
9.
9.
Okay.
So then from 9 until you were how old when you moved to Wisconsin?
19.
19. Okay. So the majority of your growing up years are spent in Salem, Oregon, which is quite
Yeah.
a lot different
Yeah.
than this area of Wisconsin. You take it from there.
Well, when I first moved here, I hated it. Put it short, a lot of it was the winters. I worked at Target when I first moved here on at the 4 a.m. truck unloading crew, and so I was driving to Target one morning at 4 a.m. and the roads were just a sheet of ice, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I crashed into a telephone pole.
Oh, no.
I was fine. The car didn't look so good, but I was okay.
Wow.
But it was quite a shock. The weather and just the culture too, because I mean, it's a lot more. I mean, the Northwest, they're a bunch of tree-hugging liberals, which is great, which basically I am. But it was just sort of weird.
Mercy and I are too.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Because you're between us.
Carry on.
Yeah, but it was, and there was basically nothing happening in Marshfield as far as music going,
Right.
and now there is. So I'm very happy to
Yeah.
see that there is live music happening on a weekly basis in Marshfield.
That's
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of improvements, but when I first got here, it just was dead, and coming from some place where I would play, every now and then at coffee shops and stuff, to going to Marshfield where there's just nothing, and it was cold and.
And your wife, she didn't warn you about the winter weather.
Well, she did, but I mean, there's words and then there's -0 temperatures.
Yeah.
So
I heard the word reality from the
Yeah,
audience.
yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. All right, so you're here now, though, and I kind of heard that you actually like it now.
I've grown to like it. I've lived here longer than anywhere else in my life. So I'm a Wisconsinite, I guess.
Yay.
So yeah, there's a lot of things I've come to like about it. And every now and then I sort of wish that I was back in Salem, but there's a lot of awful stuff going on out there right now. So, I mean, it's a good place to be, and it's been a great place to raise our 2 children.
You do have children.
Yeah.
How old
and,
are your children?
13. My oldest is turning 14 next month,
Okay.
and 10.
Okay.
Okay.
And the school system in Marshfield is really good. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
and it's just a really nice a safe community. So
Nice.
it's been a good place for our family.
Very good.
So let's shift gears and talk about your music. We actually had a question from one of our online listeners right now. Wanted to know about your instrument and what it's called. I think whenever somebody plays something different, it's really nice to talk about, the history of it and how you came to play it versus a traditional guitar. So what's it called officially?
It's called a dobro.
Right.
Dobro is actually a brand name. The general name of that kind of guitar is a resonator guitar.
Okay.
This is a wooden body resonator guitar. You'll see the all metal body resonator guitars. Usually those are made by the National brand.
Right, I've heard them called national guitars.
Yeah. And I have a wooden one, and the brand is Dobro. But the big difference is that there's a metal cone inside the body that vibrates and produces the sound rather than the wooden top of a traditional acoustic guitar. So that's why you get that twangy metallic sound.
Is that an instrument that you've always played, or did you
No.
start playing it?
It's sort of funny. I got it. It was almost on a whim. I had some Christmas money that was specifically to get a new guitar, and I bought one guitar, and it didn't work out. I was able to return it, and then I had this money. I was like, well, what am I going to do with it? And I was starting to listen to blues a lot, and I thought, I think maybe I'd like to learn how to play blues and slide guitar. And then I got it on a whim, and then I hardly used it for a while, and it took a long time to really get into playing slide guitar.
And how old were you when this transition started to happen? When you returned to the regular guitar and picked this up? Because I know you started playing when you were quite young.
Yeah, I was 11 or 12. I can never actually remember the age. I just know I got my first guitar for Christmas somewhere between like 11, 12, 13. And then I got this guitar around 10 years ago. I remember because my youngest son had been born recently, so he was not quite one, I don't think. But I didn't use it very much. And slowly I started playing it more and more, and it's funny, it's become my signature. Where it was, like I said, it was almost on a whim that I got it. I was like, well, I'm supposed to buy a guitar. I guess I will try this,
That's funny how that happens that way.
And it really does have a very unique and cool sound. I'm glad that the audience was
Did you play
asking
slide
about
with your regular guitar, or is that something that came along with the national guitar?
Came along later.
Or with the dobro?
Okay.
I played just, I don't know what you call it, regular standard guitar and I still do. A lot of what I'm doing now is slide, and it's really become my signature, and people want to hear it and see it, which is cool because I enjoy doing it.
Not to obsess too much on your instrument, but I saw you with a screwdriver before you started, and you said there was a bridge issue, and you have to adjust that periodically?
I don't know if it's this way with all of them, but the bridge sort of moves around some, and you'll get more buzz, and the intonation will go out a little bit. Intonation's not very good to begin with, and you can never really get it in tune, but you can get it a little bit better if you sort of adjust the bridge and move it so it's a little more centered. So I do that. It just gives a better sound, because sometimes you'll start, it's a resonator guitar, so you get a little buzz, but sometimes you'll start hearing a lot of buzz, and it sort of distracts from the sound. So if I sort of center that bridge inside there a little better, then it sounds better, and it's the intonation, I think, is a little better on it too.
Well, what was the name of the first song that you played?
It was called Some Sunny Day.
Okay, is that the name of your album?
Yes. That's the title track from my 6-song EP. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And are we ready for another song?
I think so. I think it's time to have you share another song. Do you want to lead us into that a little bit?
Okay. The next one is called It Is What It Is.
Okay. I've heard that
It's
one.
actually, it's another song that's on the EP.
Okay.
It came about because I used to joke around with my kids, whenever the weather was bad, I'd say something like, "Stop raining, you stupid sky," or "Stop snowing, you stupid sky." And of course I was being facetious, but then I really started thinking about how ridiculous that is to shout at the sky and expect it to change for you, and just sort of, expect the universe and our weather patterns have been, there's so much that goes into it. The weather is caused by all kinds of stuff that's been happening for a long time, and to shout at the sky and expect it to just stop raining is just ridiculous. and I thought it was funny, and it's just sort of, I call it my cosmic blue song, because it's just sort of about life and existence and the unknown.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I
Erin Lee
love the
Kaplan
lyrics.
on Waupaca Local Live.
Thank you.
Very good.
Ain't no use screaming at the sky when it rains. Ain't no use screaming at the sky when it rains. Ain't no use trying to wash out the stain. I know this life ain't pretty, but still, it's so beautiful. I know this life ain't pretty, but still, it's so beautiful. We got the blood of the stars inside our every molecule. This life is gonna kill you, but still we're lucky just to be here. This life is gonna kill you, but still we're lucky just to be here. We got this pale blue dot to sustain our precious years. It is what it is, but why it is, nobody knows. It is what it is now, but why it is, nobody knows. We're just drifting along as the cosmic river flows. Ain't no use screaming at the sky when it snows. Ain't no use screaming at the sky when it snows. Ain't no use fearing the day it's your time to go. Thanks a lot.
We are live in the studio on Waupaca Local Live with Erin Lee Kaplan. This music is amazing. I love it when we find artists who are unique like this. is just so much fun. I mean, I think every musician, like all the other musicians who've been on the show now, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm unique.
Yeah, what about
so,
me?
yeah, props to the uniqueness of every
Right.
artist, but we have never had another person on the show, Erin, that has played this particular instrument.
Right.
And I really love the sound. And I couldn't make it sound like that. So you are kind of amazing playing it, I have a feeling. And I just thought it would be fun to bring it back on
Yeah,
set
just
with
pull
us.
it up
Okay.
so that we
And-
can get a good shot
Yeah,
of
because
this.
the audience really does seem to be very interested, and it's
Yeah.
not something we see all the time.
I don't know. I mean, it is a guitar. It has 6 strings. To play slide, you have to use an open tuning.
Oh, that's
Can you talk about what that means? Because some people...
Yeah, sure. Well, these last 2 songs have been in open G tuning. The next one is going to be an open D. The last one will be an open G again. And they're just variations, slight variations from standard, but it basically means that it's an open chord. So when you strum it, you have a full chord. And then
Oh, without even putting...
Yeah.
So without even
Right.
and that
pressing
makes
any of
it
the
so that you
strings.
can get
That's how
that
they
full
do that.
slide. You can get a full chord, a full major chord.
Without pressing
Without-
the frets.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. And is this
So-
made out of ceramic?
Yeah, this is a ceramic slide. There are brass slides and glass slides, and I've tried a lot of different ones, and I've settled on this one, this ceramic slide. It works best for me, but it's a personal preference.
So,
Very cool.
so if you're doing a variety of songs and you have to change the tuning between, you get really good at tuning, don't you?
I usually base my sets around tunings.
Okay.
So I'll usually try to keep tuning at a minimum. And if I'm playing longer shows, like 3-hour shows, a lot of times I'll bring 2 guitars and I'll have one in standard
Okay.
tuning, because there's quite a few songs that I've written and that covers I do that are in standard tuning as well.
Okay.
So
I have a really good friend I want you to meet. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm curious about when you started writing songs. You started playing guitar when you were around 11. When did you start writing your own music, and how did that come about?
Well, I started really paying attention to music when I'm just gonna fiddle with this a whole bunch, so I'm gonna put that back in my pocket. I started really paying attention to music around that age, 10, 11, 12, because I started to be homeschooled, and I had a whole lot of free time on my hands.
That could be a whole nother show.
I have lots of stories. Some of them are good, some of them not so good. But I have lots of stories. But my stepdad had this collection of CDs, classic rock CDs, and a lot of the singer-songwriter stuff from the 60s and 70s. And I was really drawn to people like Cat Stevens and Paul Simon. And actually what I really wanted to do getting into music was writing songs. So it was the creativity that really drew me to music, not so much the guitar, but the creativity and I think what it was being able to communicate these powerful ideas, which a lot of the 60s and 70s songwriters did. They communicated powerful ideas, but it was still enjoyable to listen to. So I think that's what I wanted
Makes
to
the
do.
medicine a little sweeter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole spoonful of
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
So
helps
do you
the
remember
medicine
your
go
first
down.
song?
It was awful. No, I don't know. I know I wrote the first song that I know I still have a recording of somewhere was called Butterfingers. And I mean, people have asked me like, how do you write songs? I don't know how you do it. And you practice. You have to write a whole bunch of horrible songs, and you have to be really hard on yourself to be able to start writing better songs. It's just like anything. It's lots and lots and lots and lots of work. And
Do the lyrics come easy for you?
no, not well. It's weird. I've been really uninspired with lyrics lately. But then there's there have been times where I'm really inspired with lyrics, and lyrics just sort of come. And
What tends to spark that? What's happening? Like, what's happening emotionally? What's happening life-wise?
I don't know. A lot of my lyrics are inspired by depression.
I think that's true for a lot of artists.
I think that's a common.
Yeah.
It's coming out more and more, actually. People are starting to speak out about it.
And that goes back to music as medicine. You know, it's a way
Music
to
and
kind of
art.
move through, right?
Right.
So there's that, but then there's, I don't know, there's just stuff happening. There's a song that I don't really play very much because my wife said it made her physically sick. It's a song. It's a song about pollution. And so, I mean, I think environmental issues tend to come out. I don't really do a whole lot of like political stuff so much, but environmental issues seem to come out. There's a lot of. I think a lot of my existential terror, for lack of a better description, comes out. Fear of death comes out a lot. I mean, that last song, the end of it is, "Ain't no use fearing when it's your time to go." And I just think, if I could actually live by that, that would be fantastic. I have all these lyrics that would be great if I could actually live by them. I don't. I'm still terrified of death. But, it's like somehow sort of makes it better to write about it.
Well,
Yeah.
you're giving yourself the message.
It's cathartic.
You're trying to console yourself with the words, and
Right.
that doesn't mean it's all gone. But
And we all know things that we don't.
how are you?
Integrate.
How do your kids do with your music? Are they musical? Are they like rebelling by not being musical?
I just think they're not really impressed with it at all because they grew up around it. It's just like, it's what I do.
Okay.
And
Well, Marcy and
It's
I are
like-
going to get in touch with your kids and let them know that
Yeah.
the dad's pretty stellar, okay?
I think, well, my older son now has gotten into music, and he's a cello player, and he also is learning guitar and starting to write songs and stuff.
Well, there you
So
go.
I think he's starting to appreciate what I do, but it's also like not something they'd really want to listen to themselves. And
Right.
it's like,
well, they hear it. It's the backdrop of their lives,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
And so we have to move on to another song because
I'm not ready.
I know. I wish we could talk more, but we have one more segment that we're going to talk.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
tell us about your next song.
this is called Catch a Death, and it's all about it's funny what sometimes will inspire you. This song was inspired by one line from a song called Stage Fright by the band.
Oh, yeah, I know that song.
And this song
Just
sounds
heard it the
nothing
other
like... the song, it didn't end up sounding anything like that song. But in the song it says that the doctor warned me I might catch a death. And that line stuck with me. And
That's cool.
all this other junk came out eventually. And it's just... I think it's a lot about the human condition and sort of how we're these physical beings, but we dream of eternity, and we have these ideas of what we want to be, and then there's the reality of what we can be. And we try to change things and pretend to be things we're not, and in the end we can only be what we are. And I don't know what that is, but that's sort of what the song is about. And I was trying to figure out what songs I wanted to do, and I was sort of like, this is sort of the ultimate Aaron Lee Kaplan song, I think, because it's about death, which is pretty universal for my songs. It has this dark sense of humor to it, which is a big part of me, is my sort of weird dark sense of humor. And it's based in blues, but it also has these ideas, a lot of dissonance, which was inspired by my interest in modern classical music and jazz.
I That's a lot rolled up into one song, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it.
Well, that's why I was like, I should do this because this is sort of like the best example of what I everything I do. You know.
All right, let's
And
hear it.
is this song on your last EP, or will it be
No,
upcoming?
this is not on an album yet. I think it's going to be on. It's coming up, but I have 2 different releases planned,
Okay.
and one of them's going to be all instrumental, and then the other one's going to have the vocal songs, and this will be on the vocal songs, which I think I'm going to do second.
Okay.
All
Well, we
right,
look
Erin.
forward to both very much. Thank you for being on the show with us.
Thanks
Looking
for
forward to
having
hearing
me.
this song. Everyone, Erin Lee Kaplan.
Thank you.
No matter how much I vacuum, there's always dirt on my rug. No matter how long I shovel, there's always more to be dug. No matter how tight I squeeze, I'll never fit in these clothes. No matter how hard I stare, I'll never see past my nose. The dishes in my sink are growing mold. The skeletons in my closet are growing flesh. The dreams inside my guitar case are growing weeds. I try to keep on moving, but I still might catch a death. And that's only if death don't catch me first. No matter how close I shave, there's always hair on my face. No matter how long I diet, there's always fat on my waist. No matter how much I schedule, there's always chance in my plans. No matter how hard I scrub, there's always blood on my hands. The dishes in my sink are growing mold. The skeletons in my closet are growing flesh. The dreams inside my guitar case are growing weeds. I try to keep on moving, but I still might catch a death. And that's only if death don't catch me first. The bones crack and creak. The muscles ache and spasm. The mind flits and leaps. The spirit climbs the chasm. Caught between heaven and earth, pushing boulders to watch them fall, seeking trinkets in the dirt, till death catches us all. No matter how much I got in, there's always weeds in my patch. No matter how I believe, there's always some kind of catch. No matter how long I practice, I'll never get these songs right. No matter how loud I rage, I still have to fade in the night. The dishes in my sink are growing mold. The skeletons in my closet are growing flesh. The dreams inside my guitar case are growing weeds. I try to keep on moving, but I still might catch a death. And that's only if death don't catch me first. Thank you.
We're in the studio live with Erin Lee Kaplan, and it's really been a pleasure. It's just almost been educational and somewhat inspirational.
It has absolutely been inspirational, and it has been educational. It's true, Marcy. Good synopsis.
Awesome.
I like it.
Awesome. So what are we going to do next here, Deb?
Well, we're going to, I think first let's ask Erin where we can find your music, because we want to make
That's a
sure
good
that we have everybody's attention.
Right.
So I have a 6-song EP out right now. It's on, it should be on all streaming platforms. It's on Spotify. I believe it's on iTunes. It's on Bandcamp, all those places. The best place to find me and find links and this stuff is Facebook for now. Erin Lee Kaplan Music on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. I just got on those recently.
Okay.
I don't have a website yet, but something I'm working on.
All right. Well, we did put your Facebook page on the Waupaca Local Live page, so people can link right directly through our page if you have trouble finding Erin. And Bandcamp is very easy to find, and I noticed that you could play all your songs, which is really nice of you. Thank you for doing that, because then people can listen before they buy. Okay, and so you're working on a couple of CDs, you said.
Yeah.
And you don't have a release date, but you're going to keep us posted on Facebook?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you play around the area? I know you've played here in Waupaca.
Yeah, I play anywhere that'll book me, basically. I'm just, I'm trying to get out, and even though I've been playing for 20 plus years, it's really been the last few years that I decided I really needed to do something with it. I really needed to get my music out there and try to make it as a professional musician. Because I realized if I didn't do it now, I'd probably regret not doing it, and might not be able to do it later.
And obviously music is your passion, it's your soul, it's what you feel like, that's your purpose.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, it's the only thing I've cared enough about to stick with, besides my wife and my kids.
Well, those are some
that's
good
a good,
priorities
yeah.
there.
I mean,
basically,
that's good.
that's basically my life, is my wife, my kids, and my music. And I was trying to find some kind of plan B or something to actually make money, and then I realized I couldn't stand any of it, so I might as well just do music.
Did you write a song about that yet, called Plan B?
No, but that's a good idea.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I have a sense of it already, so if you want to work on it together, we can do that.
Sure, yeah.
Have you co-written any songs?
Yes, my wife and I do music together too,
cool.
sometimes. And actually, our son is. We have some gigs coming up.
Oh, that's so great.
The three of us, and I'm hoping that my youngest son, will get into music. He likes to fiddle around, but when it comes to actually like learning anything, he's
a little young.
He picked up like this clarinet that my mother-in-law gave us. It's his old junky clarinet, but he started making this really good sound on it. It's like, that's great. You should learn it. No, I just want to mess around, Learn some notes. Come on, you're doing fantastic. It sounds great. You have a great tone.
He will when he's
but
ready.
I think he has the talent. He just doesn't have the discipline. And I get it, because in a lot of ways I'm really unstructured too. I just and he doesn't like structure. He's really smart and he's really talented at things, but he doesn't want to like do anything because he doesn't like structure. He doesn't like people telling him how to do things, and that's me too. That's why I never finished going to college for music. So
Sometimes there's a lot of boxes that this world asks us to like squeeze ourselves into that really aren't designed for us, and to be able to let our uniqueness shine is really great.
Yeah.
So I'm just reminding you about that, because I think that that's cool to allow for that. So much of our culture, I think, doesn't allow for that, and we can find ways to let our kids do that and learn how to.
yeah.
Well,
We
they have
just
you
gotta
as a role
encourage
model,
him.
so
Yeah,
that's
I just gotta
good.
encourage him, because his natural tendency is just there in his phone.
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
all 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's like when we don't let him be on his phone, he makes these hilarious comic strips. Or,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, see,
comes
he's
up
got
with
all
stuff.
kinds of
Yeah.
creative energy, just like you. Well, I look forward to seeing you and your family out and about in the next coming
Right.
months. That'll be really great. We'll keep an eye on your Facebook page so that we know where you're playing. Yeah, that sounds great. So, all right, you ready to play this crazy little game we have?
Yeah, I was scared coming on here. I watched some of the other episodes, which I enjoyed. They were good, but I sort of had know what's coming a little bit. Okay. That was all.
Shoot.
I tend to.
Did you memorize the questions and already choose your answers?
I remember some of them.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, so it's
That's
like,
so funny because
Which one do you
earlier
have?
today.
Wilhelm, is it the same?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
It's
similar.
okay.
I think so.
right, let's
Earlier
go.
today when I was pulling this out, I seriously was like, you know what? It's time to kind of switch up these questions a little bit. People are going to get used to the same ones. I was tuning into you thinking,
Yeah.
he's going to have them memorized. Oh, well, here we go.
I didn't. Yeah, I have a tendency to put my foot in my mouth or just. So I just wanted to sort of know what was coming, so I didn't seem totally crazy or whatever. Not like I'm doing now or anything.
I love
am
it.
good at
Well,
talking.
then you totally know how this goes. So we're just going to ping pong back and forth. And let's just have fun. Ready?
All right.
Go ahead, Marcy.
Okay, texting or talking?
Probably texting.
Texting.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Veggie or pepperoni?
Pepperoni.
Last song you jammed to that wasn't one of yours?
I've been trying to learn "Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground" by Blind Willie Johnson, and that's just one of the most amazing transcendental recordings ever made. And I've just been trying to it's like so much feeling. It's not even about the notes. So I've been trying to get into that and sort
Now I
of
kind of want
make
you
it
to
my
play
own.
that.
Well, maybe I'll play
Maybe
it at
later,
22
right?
Lakes.
Play it at
Okay,
22
great. Okay.
All right, invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility. I'd like to hide away from people.
Vinyl or digital?
Digital.
Truth or fiction?
I don't know. It depends on my mood, because I've gone through periods of time where I read mostly nonfiction, and then lately I've been more into fiction because I just need. But reality is too
So that was
depressing.
interesting because you actually think we're talking about books to read. What about in
Well-
life, truth or fiction?
Oh. In life, truth. I definitely would like to know the truth. I'm always. My wife says I'm a truth seeker, so I'm always trying to figure out more stuff.
Okay, this one's not on the paper, but I'm going to ask anyway. What's your sun sign?
My sun sign?
Like astrology, do you know? Actually, I really want to know your moon. Maybe we have to talk
I
about this
don't
later.
know. I can never remember that, Joe.
Okay, it's okay.
My birthday is October 15th. Is that
Okay.
Libra? Okay.
Libra. All right, socks or sandals?
Oh, shoes.
I love it.
He's a rebel.
I wear shoes except when I'm in bed, because if I go around barefoot, my feet hurt, and my socks get wet, or my feet get wet, and I stub my toes, and I get my bloody toenails when I have sandals.
Okay,
TMI.
bordering on TMI, yes. Sorry,
Yep.
we're going to have to
Oh,
just...
that was TMI? Well, I'm glad I'm not going to. I thought that was nothing. Okay.
Listen.
I'll keep that in mind that's TMI.
You said bloody toenails on Waupaca Local Live.
Is that bad?
I mean...
Okay.
Maybe
We made him smile.
Maybe it's going to be another song. Who knows? I don't know.
Where are we on this
I don't know.
list?
Star Wars or Princess Bride?
Princess Bride.
Yay.
Big dogs or little dogs?
Quiet dogs.
No, buddy, you're not playing by the rules.
I love that. I love it.
I don't play by the rules.
We noticed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm digging that very much. What's your superpower?
I'm feeling no pain.
Ooh.
Giving presents or getting presents?
Everybody says giving, but I think getting. Honestly,
Good, that's honest. He likes getting
I love
presents.
giving my kids presents. Everybody else, you can just give them to me. Okay.
I like that we're having audience participation.
Yeah.
Did you hear
Let's
them
be
helping
honest.
you? They're like, getting.
Giving presents. Come on.
I think he does need some help with some of these decisions here. Okay.
Climb a mountain or jump from a plane.
Climb a mountain.
All right, what kind of milk do you put on your cereal?
1%.
Okay. Now that one I expected a long dissertation on.
I don't know. I'm old-fashioned. I drink cow's
He's actually
milk.
from Wisconsin. Now he
no.
drinks cow's milk. It's all
Milk.
good. Okay.
I'm not that Oregon that I'm like almond.
Milk on my.
This was the dissertation we were
quinoa.
expecting. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Truth or dare?
Probably true.
Desert or rainforest?
Can't I do both?
Can you now?
I'd like to do both.
Okay.
Simultaneously?
No, I mean, I just like, let's take a vacation. 1 year we're going to the rainforest, the next year we're going to the desert.
Sure.
Okay.
Switch it up. That's
Yeah.
good.
All right, we will
Got
sanction
it.
that.
Okay. What's something you could eat for a week straight?
Pizza.
Okay.
Oh,
They have pizza where we're going next.
Okay.
dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Okay, that was an easy one.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask this. Your songwriting journal, paper or laptopy computer situation?
If paper's around, I'll write it on paper, but a lot of times I'll put it on my phone because paper
Okay.
isn't around.
All right.
And like typing it in, or do you like speak it in?
I usually just type it in.
Uh-huh.
That voice thing doesn't work very well for me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to do my last one, and it's
Okay.
transparent or opaque. Transparent or opaque?
I was thinking.
Da, da, da,
Da, da,
da,
da,
da.
Well, there's a lot of, I don't know. Probably, I would prefer transparent, but I feel like reality is opaque.
Okay. All right, Deb.
This is where it lands last. Interview or interview? I had to keep it deep because that's where you go.
An interview is bringing out the interview.
Oh! I just probably
A new
became
car.
your biggest fan. Next to your wife. I'll let her keep that spot, but
I hope she's my biggest fan. I don't know.
give them a shout out. Give a shout out
She
to
puts up
those,
with me. She
that
puts up with
family.
me, and she lets me do this. And yeah, she's great. She's really great. She's
We
so
hope to meet her
supportive.
sometime.
Give her some kisses.
That's not.
That's not going to
The
happen.
bloody toenails are bad. I was like,
How can you come back to bloody toenails
because
now?
you freaked out about it.
I
so
know
much.
there's a song in there somewhere. All right, we're going to get one more song, and it better not be
We are.
Bloody Toenails, buddy.
Oh,
What's your
okay.
next and last song?
This next one is called Dairyland.
Dairyland.
Dairyland. This is after living in Wisconsin for several years. I've really come to like a lot of things about it, and this is it's an instrumental tribute to Wisconsin, and I sort of imagine when I'm playing it. I mean, I travel around, especially central Wisconsin, doing gigs a lot, and driving from Marshfield to Point and here and Rapids and stuff. And there's a lot of little farms and stuff, and you sort of see the rolling hills.
I know, it's so
You see
beautiful.
the cows, and you see the trees out in the distance, and I sort of imagine that when I'm playing. And there's actually, I talked about the next album that I'm doing, and I keep on going back and forth about which one I want to do next, but I'm pretty sure the next one is going to be a collection of songs, instrumental songs that were inspired by life in Wisconsin, and the title track will be Dairyland.
All right.
I love it.
Thank you. That's great.
And for all you, I'm sure there'll be questions about this, I'm playing lap style on this one.
Okay.
And also actually, I'll be laying the guitar flat. It's a different technique. This is actually the only song I currently play lap style, but a lot of the guitarists I like play lap style slide. And it's just a different you're coming at the strings from a different angle, so you just have different possibilities.
It's also nice for your posture to have a break from doing one or the other, right? Sometimes I want to play guitar, but my arms are short and my fingers are short, and it hurts. So I want to lay it down, play it on my lap.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, I'm usually slouched over
right, Deb.
all the time anyway, so.
Oh, what? She's cutting me off? Did you? Seriously, live audience, did you just see that? Yeah. What? Is it really that time? Do we have to go?
I think we have to go,
move
but I really
on?
want to hear this song,
Okay.
and I appreciate that it's about Dairyland. So
I do
thank
too.
you very much. Erin Lee Kaplan, everybody.
Well, thank you for having me.